explain what the hell is going on here quick.
Well, Victor, that's what we're all trying to figure out.
Oh, God, don't look at me. No one's blaming you, Luther.
No, I mean, don't look at me! I'm hideous!
Look, at least you're back to your old self, all right? The rest of us feel like someone injected motor oil in our veins.
It's so strange, because I, for once, feel fantastic.
Yeah, well, you think you got problems? Look at this.
Oh, wait, no.
Hey, panelers, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Steve.
And this is going to be a spoiler-full podcast about The Umbrella Academy, Season 4, Episode 2, called Gene and Jean. And the synopsis?
With their powers restored, the gang embarks on a mission to find Cy Grossman's daughter, but they soon encounter hostility in a seemingly quaint town. A quaint Christmas town. Or at least it's town celebrating Christmas. Yeah.
Celebrating Christmas at this point, which is so funny too, because if you watch it, and obviously you listeners have known, or you've watched it several times, just like we have, and you're like, we don't really see much Gina Jean in this episode.
Not till the end. It's weird that that was the title, but we don't get them until the very end. So, I'm not sure what that was about. Just a misdirect by the writers there, but
it was a very strange title, and throughout the whole episode you don't get all this. And to me, I did enjoy the episode. I loved seeing the family get their powers slowly as they come. You get Luther coming back, waking up with that stupid 1980s alarm clock that I have too, that goes I have that still too, everybody. I still own it. It's so annoying. It will just make anybody who has a hangover going, oh crap, turn that off. But it's there. He wakes up, he goes to work, he goes to the strip bar, and he looks a little bit bigger in the astronaut suit than he normally is. Mm-hmm. And then when he takes it off and he goes crazy, and all the women go crazy, it's like, oh my God, he's a gorilla underneath.
Yep, he's a gorilla again. So we see the powers are back. So
the powers are back.
Kind of back in a weird. Some of them have got weird, different powers, a little slightly different. But we'll talk about that as we go through the episode. So yeah, little different tweaks to their powers, but definitely some interesting things to say about them getting their powers back. So yeah, I have to give it up to you, as we were talking about before we started recording. You called it. He did spike their drinks, which I was kind of like, well, why would he take the extra shot there at the end if it wasn't? And that's like we talked about before we started recording. It bugs me a little bit. The writers did that. They threw him in taking that separate shot there at the end, just to kind of throw us off, because I'm sure they knew that everybody was going to be thinking, oh, he's going to spike that final shot. And then we see him take his own shot and go, okay, well, maybe he didn't. And that left me enough of a doubt to go, maybe he didn't. But they didn't keep us in suspense very long. They show us very quickly. We see Diego throwing the packages, and he's like,
100%. He's like, as if he was like back in the day. He's like all happy about it. It's like, damn, I'm hitting everyone.
And you can see that he's very, very pleased that he's got his powers back. And he doesn't know yet why, but he's just got them. He's so happy with himself. So I was glad they didn't keep us in too much suspense about that, and they showed us. So I'll give him a little bit. But you called it. He did spike their shots, and he does make a comment later in the episode about, well, maybe you guys should drink some more of it and they're like, no, don't drink any more of it. And so I thought that was kind of cool. But of course, we see each of them with their powers
back.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different. Like even Victor it's a little bit different than what we've seen. It's a different color.
The power's a little different. Like we see 5 bamfing, and they can't figure out where he's going.
Yeah, he's going into some sort of subway station that
Yep.
takes him to alternate timelines. So that's interesting.
Lila with the laser eyes.
And she doesn't really know how to make them work, which was made for some hilarious moments. I was a little worried there at first when she started shooting those laser eyes. I was like, she's gonna kill one of them if she doesn't.
Exactly.
She's not careful, you know. And so I was really glad that didn't happen, but that definitely was a concern. But yeah, we've got a little bit different powers. We see Allison doesn't have to say anything. She can just look at them, and she who's that Professor X, she can put the thought in their head, and they do it. And you saw the guy's eyes go white when he turned around and shot the other people. Diego has some sort of telekinesis with the bullets. I don't know that he
he's able to shoot them out to people and stop it like the Matrix.
He jumped in the air and he did that kind of spinning motion, and all the bullets spun around him and then went and shot out at the guys. I was like, whoa, that's impressive. So we see Ben can't put the tentacles back, but he's still got some pretty good control because he does kill that one the one girl at the end who was pretending to be Jennifer when she puts the gun to the other Jennifer's head, and he shoots that tentacle right through her neck, and that was whoa. I was like, whoa. But yeah, the only one that we don't get in this episode, but until the end, we find out at the beginning, of course, is that Klaus didn't drink.
Yeah, because he did the typical, I'm gonna throw it over my shoulder.
Yeah. And I thought that was really cool for the character, because he was so adamant about remaining sober that it really threw me off at the end of the last episode when he did drink it so quickly. I was just like, what? He's been sober for so very long, and not to get into Alcoholics Anonymous or anything like that, but if you're an alcoholic, like he says in this episode, he says, one drink is not enough, but one drink is too many, 2 drinks is not enough, or something like that was why he didn't do it. And that's definitely an alcoholic's, mantra of, hey, no, I can't even take one drink, because if I take one drink, that's going to lead to
it's going to lead to the next. And Robert Sheehan is perfect with his depiction of Klaus. And I cannot love him more of his devotion to the character and how the character is and how it's feeling. And same thing with like every other character that we got, like David Castaneda, Ritu Aria, who plays Lila, and then Tom Hopper, who plays Luther. And then, of course, we got Elliot Page and all the other people. But they're very true to the characters that they have and to how they are in characteristics. So they embrace the character and they give it their all within the episode, which I truly enjoy. And that's the whole point. And it's just like they're very true to the character, but there's a little bit of change, like you said, with like the powers that they're getting, because it's not their original powers. It's their original powers enhanced even more.
A little bit different. Luther, like I don't remember Luther being bulletproof.
Yeah.
But yet it's what's interesting to me about that scene where he does that, and I thought about it on the second viewing today, was he reacts and goes into protect mode, even though he doesn't know how his body is going to react to those bullets. He just instinctively covers
protected them.
Lila and the other girl, why is
Alice?
her name Allison? Yeah, thank you. Allison, he automatically just covers them.
He covers them, yeah,
and he takes the bullets on his back. I thought that was wow. That was really, really cool.
He even says it during that time. He goes, I don't know how much more I can handle this, because they're literally penetrating his body at that point, and who knows how much of that graph is impenetrable or penetrable, who knows,
right? I don't know. We're gonna see, just like we're gonna find out in the next episode Klaus's reaction to having been given the marigold. I mean, it's another one of those things I was kind of torn about at the end of the episode. When the girl shoots him, you think, oh no, he's dead, and then Allison, she doesn't pour the marigold in his mouth, she pours it directly into
on the wound,
you
Yeah.
know, which I thought was an interesting way to do it. But still, we see him come back to life, and in the next episode, we're going to get to see his reaction to, you know,
Oh, it's
wait,
not good, everybody. I already know.
I didn't want this. And even all the other characters are like, Allison was the only one saying, no, he doesn't want this. And everybody else is like, no, but you have to do it. We need him. You know, he's part of the family. And I loved, again, it's one of those things that I loved. And we saw indications of it in the first episode, but really seeing it in this episode, seeing that Lila is definitely part of the family.
Yes.
There is no question she is Diego's wife. She is part of the family. She's another superpowered being, and she's part of their family. It's not, you know, when he says, "I need you to come with me, with us," you know, it's and the rest of the family just accepts it. I will, I will say,
Good.
go ahead.
No,
The second
good.
on my
you say your thought.
second watch, one very, very tough scene to watch was the vomiting. The vomiting scene in the van was very tough to watch because particularly the second time, I think I looked away a bunch on the second watch because I was just like, I don't need to see this. I don't want to see it. You know, it's just everybody's throwing up, and gosh,
Lila
what is that?
started it first, but Victor said he was feeling it.
Mhm.
No, Five started saying he goes, like, you puke in my truck, I'm gonna kill you in my van.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then Lila started puking, and then he started, and then everybody else starting, and it's just like, oh my god.
And the only one I'm not sure, did Diego throw up? I don't remember.
He was unconscious at that point.
Seeing whether Diego did or not. No, Diego the driver. He was the one driving.
Oh, Diego.
Yeah, Diego.
At the very end, he did.
Did he at the very end? Okay.
At the very end, he was like,
okay.
And it's like a little bit
so,
coming out.
So yeah, it was good. It's good as, but yeah, all of them basically just start throwing up in the van. I was just like, oh my gosh, seriously. And
It's like they're gonna hose that
guts.
thing down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they must have done something because, you know, they had plastic over the windows when it drove into Santa Claus when they ran down the Baby Shark song.
Oh god, yeah, that was something that I had in my notes too. It's like Baby Shark. It's like, oh my god, the one song that you have to listen to, not even being a parent, and you know it's annoying.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually heard the whole thing, the lyrics at least. I've heard it played, but I don't think I've ever heard the lyrics, the whole runaway, the whole let's go hunt. I don't think I had heard that part of the song ever before. I've just heard the different grandma and mom and pa and or daddy, and I've heard all those, but I don't know if I ever heard the runaway or the let's go hunt. So
I never heard the runaway let's go hunt either.
Okay.
But then again, yeah, our friend Jamie Dimmick, who she and I covered Sandman Cast and Dead Boy Detectives.
Mm-hmm.
she knows it so well.
Right.
So
for
is
sure.
our friend Megan. But oh my god, yeah.
So it was great. Yeah. So it was really cool to see that. It was great to see them at the end where they see the Hargreaves. They're all wearing the Hargreaves armor. So now we don't know, you know, what was going on. Who is Cy Grossman with? Is he with the keepers, or is he with Reggie? Who is he with? We know at the end, you know, Gene and Jean attack the van and they take Jennifer off with them, and they leave the rest of the family just there, which is again, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to deal with that loss, and how are they going to track Jennifer down now that they've lost her. But I'm excited to watch the next episode, and definitely this episode had all the things that I had been wanting from the first episode. I was so glad that we got it.
Yeah, I the one takeaways that I would taking from it too, which I thought was pretty funny too, is like Diego talking to Five about Lila cheating on him, not knowing that she was part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then Five taking the lead about the book club in the van.
Yeah. And Five is like, what, you thought you thought the mustache was bad? Oh, it was horrible. It was terrible mustache. and just us knowing that Five was the one in him fishing for those. Really, you thought that the mustache was bad? Yeah, it was pencil thin. It was horrible. It was a terrible mustache. I thought was just hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious, but you knew it was coming from a loving family member, and obviously they're not getting involved with Lila. They're
Yeah.
close, yes, but in a sense, but not romantically at all.
No, it was so touching to hear Five, kind of try to talk him down. I was saying things like, "No, you guys have a family together. She's not going to walk away from that. You've got kids, you've got a home,
Yeah.
you've got all this," and really just it was really a good brother moment there that we have had those in the past, but we haven't had them recently. So it was good to see that kind of brother moment between Diego and Five. As Five is kind of, like I said, talking him down from, no, man, she's not cheating on you. She's, I'm sure it's just, but without giving her up, because later on she thanks Five for not, she's like, thank you for not giving away what it was. Cause Five, I mean, he absolutely could have just spilled the beans of everything right then. And Five was like, no, that's not protocol. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give up even though we see Gene and Jean there at the end when they see her and they go, oh, Nancy, now we see. And so Nancy is outed. So I don't know if that means Five is going to be outed or not, how that's going to play out.
Yeah. His alternative identity or whatever it was for the CIO was. I thought it was really cute, that whole, and this was something that was very much important in the very beginning when they were doing promotion for the season, was Luther actually taking the family photo by the telephone booth with everybody. It was just cool. After the puking incident.
And they're covering up their faces. And
I thought it was very cute. Diego in the back trying to fit in his gear like the old days because he put on some poundage and weight.
Yeah. He gained the whatever, the new baby, the new marriage, whatever you want to say.
It was the daddy fat, as I like to call it. It's like he put on some poundage. So but he's got his powers back. So, but he's starting to feel more of who he was before with the Umbrella Academy at that time, and still being a dad as he always is, and loving Lila.
Yeah, for sure.
The one thing I really did like was the talk between Victor and Allison. And that was hard to hear. Victor needed to be away, and Allison got what she wanted with her husband and daughter, and which Victor pointed out, but the husband walked away. And
we don't know exactly what happened there yet. We still don't know what happened. We know something happened to where he's not in the picture, but she didn't tell Victor that. So, but that was that was a really good conversation, particularly if you, like I said last week, I rewatched the final episode of season 3, and Allison and Victor have this big argument about what, Allison making that deal with Reginald. And so in this episode, Victor being able to go, look, I understand. I've spent the last 5 years building a life for myself, and him realizing that I don't want that life taken away either. And getting to understand that she didn't want her life taken away. Allison didn't want her life taken away either. So I thought it was really cool moment. Again, a good brother sister moment between them as well. So we got a lot of those quiet moments that I like from the series, but we also got the great big action pieces as well.
We do, definitely do. I love the whole Klaus and he's in the van while everybody else is going through their whole issues, and he's tempting with the marigold in the van itself. Mind you, he's being tempted, and at the very end, he does get it in the end in his wound. Which it's like him dealing with his own addictions, because he wants to help, but he's like, I don't know if I should. And then literally, it gets to that point where he gets shot.
Yeah, well, like when the one girl shows up and tries to get him to take her away, the fake Jennifer shows up first.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I found you. I did it. I'm part of the team. And he's like, you realize that he thinks now, oh, I don't need my powers to be part of the team. But then, of course, that all goes to crap because she's not the real Jennifer, and she ends up shooting him. But that he had that moment of thinking that gosh, you could see it on his face, the relief of I can be part of the team without my powers, you know, because he's like, you know, he tells her, no, I can't leave because I have a tendency of abandoning my post, and we
Yeah.
know, you know, those kind of things have haunted him for a while. And so again, it's funny when everybody's running up to him, start the van, start the van. You know, it was really very Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, start the plane, start the plane. You know?
Yeah, literally.
Um,
There were times within the episode, if you look at Ben,
mhm.
he's got that stupid HP Lovecraft kaiju with the tentacles coming
Mhm.
down from his back because he took the marigold.
Yeah.
And it's his octopi squidness coming out from the back, and it's just dragging constantly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
and he can't
something
put 'em
wrong
away.
with it, and there's something
Yeah.
going wrong. And I think this ties to what's going on.
Mhm.
And then we already got fake Jennifer, but we got the real Jennifer, and the real Jennifer is Asian, just like he is.
Mhm.
So I think there's a connection there. And
Well, and there's that moment in the van, if you caught it, when their hands touched, when the van, when Gene and Gene
Glowed.
slam into the van, yeah, their hands touch, and there's like a glowing thing that happens that we don't know what the result of that is gonna be. Is that something of a power that does Jennifer have a power that we're not aware of? You know, which that would make sense of why Gene and Gene were trying to find her, you know, and kind of used. This is my take on it. Again, having not watched ahead, so my kind of take on it is that Gene and Gene kind of were using the umbrellas to get to Jennifer because they couldn't get to her because she was surrounded by all those Hargreaves people. So maybe Cy Grossman does work for the keepers and Gene. I don't know, you
Who
know, because
knows?
he led them there, and it was all a trap just to get the Umbrella Academy basically to get Jennifer out of that so that Gene and Gene could take her. That's my take on it. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see. We're 2 episodes in. This is 1/3. This season is going to fly by. You know, it seems to be going really slow, but it's going to start. It's got to
it's
pick
gonna
up
fly
here
by
pretty
real
soon.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah, with only 6 episodes, which is a little disappointing, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad it's only 6 episodes because, like we've talked about before, we've got Agatha All Along is coming
Yeah,
up.
it's gonna
So
come around the corner too.
we've got more stuff. We've got more stuff coming down the pipe here in the next month or two that we're going to need to get caught up on. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so 6 episodes of the Umbrella Academy is a nice segue to get us back into it. But
Into a groove.
Yeah,
Back into
yeah.
what we used to do. We're still doing Snowpiercer, everybody. So as you
Mhm.
know, Rebecca
yeah,
and
I've
I
still
are,
got to get caught up. I've still got to get caught up on
yes, he's
Snowpiercer.
gonna get caught up
I'm
to the point where
behind, and
he'll jump in on either the last or the last 2 episodes.
yeah,
of
I'll try to see
podcasting.
what I can do maybe with that.
But
yeah,
yeah. But when it comes to Umbrella Academy now, when it comes to that, you know, we like we said, we don't get Gene and Gene until the very end, until they
Mhm.
shoot out onto the van.
Mhm.
Now, mind you, we already know Klaus is healed and everything, but they destroy the whole van.
yeah.
So it kind of leaves us off at a cliffhanger.
Mhm.
But one weird thing that I got throughout the episode, and this is in my notes, and the Vortex Transit was on the outside of the diner. It's like a signage, Vortex Transit,
Hmm.
where Ben was sitting waiting for the bus before
Hmm.
Asian Jennifer comes out to talk to him at the diner.
Right.
Which is like, okay, so this is a vortex.
Mhm.
So this is like its own universe. And it makes me think, it's like, is that an Easter egg of some sort? You can tell me if I'm wrong, everybody, but you know, I was probably reading anything, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, I had to make a note. So tell me. But other than that, that's it. All I have left is one quote.
Yeah, I think that's I just again I want to go just reiterate the fact that I love this episode. It had all the things that I've been wanting that I missed out on in the first episode. We have the family back together. We have the powers back. So we're going to get to see where they're going to go from here and how that's going to work. I'm excited to see where the rest of the season is going to go and see how they're going to play, how these new kind of strange powers are going to change their interaction or see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the season. I don't have any quotes or anything else. I think that's all that I've got, really. I think we talked about just about everything. This is a quick discussion of this one, but it was a really good episode. I'm really excited for the rest of the season.
We don't want to clutter your minds and go in depth and do an hour-long podcast like always, like a lot of people do. Sometimes you have to have fun with it and just go with the flow. And that's literally my thoughts about things when I do these podcasts nowadays. Nowadays, I think we had you panelers will laugh because we had one pass, and Mark forgot to do what? Hit the record button on Zoom, and Rebecca was like, "We had a great time for an hour and a half, and that was a great." It's like we literally recaptivated it. It'll be out there. You'll hear it. But it was pretty funny though. She goes, "Oh my God, you had some really good zingers. You had some really good cool stuff." And I was like, "Yeah," but it was actually shorter now in comparison to the first pass that we did. So I think it works better. So shorter is best. I think.
Sometimes it's good.
I think it works best.
Yeah.
But anyhow, regardless of that, we're gonna move on because we're gonna move on to other stuff that's coming up later on.
Yeah. What was your quote? You said you had a quote?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I do have a quote. Did you have any quotes or no?
I don't know. Just the ones that we've talked about that we kind of touched on already.
Oh, the only one I found funny, honestly, was Diego saying "like a glove," and it was and Five's like OJ's glove.
Yeah, that was.
And it was regarding him getting back into his gear and just like pushing the fat and heaviness of everything from his.
Yeah, seeing the banter and the playfulness between the siblings was a good. When Allison says to him, "You're waddling," and he says, "Well, I'm just trying to act like you." And so she kind of kicks him in the backside kind of thing. So we had that playful banter between them.
The sibling banter that we all do.
When Ben kind of ribs her about being a B-list actress, and now that you've got your rumor power back, you won't have to be a B-list. And she's like, "No, I'm the head of a national campaign or whatever." You're just like, "Come on, it's a laundry detergent."
It literally is. It's a laundry detergent advertisement.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that just about covers our coverage on the Umbrella Academy season 4, episode 2.
Yeah. Gene and Gene.
So with that, I did set up something for feedback. We didn't get anything, everybody, but I will always be putting this out regardless. But for you to submit your feedback, you could easily go to our Facebook group, which would be facebook.com/panels to pixels. You'll see the image of what we're going to be covering. It will tell you the episode of the show we're covering and the show itself. And then you just leave the comments below and we'll read them. If you it does the same for Instagram because literally it's linked together. So, and that's at Panels to Pixels podcast on Instagram. So it's the same thing identically. So if you actually do comment on both or one, it'll go to both.
Nice.
So that'll be appreciated if you could do that. If you want to send out a regular texted email, all you have to do is send us an email at panelstopixels1@gmail.com. That's panels. Panels is spelled out 2 panels, and then 2 is spelled TO, pixels, and the number 1@gmail.com. And there you could just write out a regular texted email. We'll read it. If you want to feel free and record yourself, you can do that easily. And then just send that as an attachment and we'll play it. It says if you're going to be on the podcast itself. And we'll comment regarding that. We like a lot of feedback if you can.
Mm-hmm.
As always, we could be found on YouTube. So that's Panels to Pixels podcast. Keep that in mind, everybody, because we do get some feedback from Josh's Panels to Pixels. That's on YouTube, but he's in England. But we are Panels to Pixels podcast. So search for Panels to Pixels podcast, and you will find us, and you'll see our key logo, which is created by our great friend Kirk Manley, and it's all red and yellow, so you could see it and you could diversify it from what Josh does. But anyhow, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow link, and hit the bell to be notified when anything else comes up. It's a lot of people like to listen to the podcast through that format, and it'll be great if you can. Also give us a thumbs up, and then if there's any feedback that you want to give, you could do that, and then we could actually read it, and then read the feedback on the podcast when we do get it. So that's also another panel. But also, I would also like to suggest that you actually do follow Josh at Panels to Pixels, because he's a really good bloke, and he's a lot prettier than I am. He got a nice haircut. He had the nice long hair at one point, and he had the cool British accent. And I do love Josh, what he does too, because he goes more in depth with the video games, the comic books, the comparisons for the comic book to the movies and the shows. Do that. Have fun. Go see what Josh is up to, and then say hello from Mark and everybody else here from Panels to Pixels podcast. But other than that, that's the best way to get back to us. But other than that, this is our coverage for The Umbrella Academy Season 4, Episode 2. Next week, we'll be covering Season 4, Episode 3, The Squid and the Girl from The Umbrella Academy.
Halfway through.
Halfway
the
through,
season.
everybody.
Yep.
So with that, I just want to thank everyone for listening. I'm Mark.
And I'm Steve.
Same podcast, different panel, different pixel. This was Panels to Pixels podcast, and we'll see you on the next panel. Good night, everybody.
Good night.